Oh, nice. Uh-oh. I don't know, but I'm glad I made it to here. Yeah. I can't, if I had stalled it, I'd have been in trouble. I wonder if the button came undone. Hey guys, it's Morgan coming to you with another video. Sadly, we finally broke the game changer Loretta. If you saw the thumbnail, you saw the little intro there. And if you watched the Weeby racing video, you know that at the end of the race, my start button doesn't work at all. Nothing. 0, 0, 0. You also know that it does bump start and got me back to the truck. You also know that I did finish the race. Fortunately, I did not kill it. But now we are experiencing why I like a kickstart backup, why I don't totally trust all this electronics. So today's video is about finding out what happened, why it happened, and fixing it so that it hopefully does not happen again. Now I have a couple guesses as to what happened. First guess is maybe the battery is dead. I don't know why it would be. It was a hair scramble. We were going fast. Fan was never on that I know of, at least. So I don't think that's the problem. But it definitely could be. Who knows? It's short. Anyway, could be a dead battery. Could be that the switch is just bad. Also could be the starter solenoid is disconnected. Could be wiring. There's a lot of little things that it could be. So we're going to start with what my first guess is. I'm going to check the battery. I'm concerned about the battery. I don't know why, because it's been perfect, but you never know. These stators don't produce much. All that good stuff. So let's dig in. Let's fix this. Let's figure out what's going on and hopefully fix it so hopefully you guys don't have the same problem. Yeah, it's a bummer, but here we are. All right, we're going to start by taking the seat off. Testing the battery. You guys may or may not know, but if you've watched the channel long, you know that I've got an anti-gravity AG801 in here. Also that I have a wiring harness from True North on here that connects my fan and a light harness and all kinds of other stuff. So it is not totally stock, but it's also been like that for probably almost 70 hours. Bike has 86 hours, 86 and a half, something like that. So 1340 on the battery. Battery's not dead. Now let's find the start solenoid. Actually, you know what? First, I got an idea. All right, so one of the other not stock things about this system, there's lots not stock about the bike, but this specific system are my switches. I've got the Bomber bar switches from Moto Minded on here, and they've been perfect. I did have an issue with the kill switch. I knocked the little red thing, little red thing off. I've re-glued a new one on. It has no water in it, no nothing like that. The start one, which is the problem, and I've tested actually at the race. I tested the kill switch does still work. So it's not a well, who knows? I don't think it's a connection at the thing, but I have an idea of a way to test this really quickly. We're going to unplug the aftermarket switches. Then we're going to replug the stock switch. Get this number plate out the way. And let's try it. I hate these switches. I'm so glad I changed them. All right. So it's not the switch. That's good. I was a little concerned that maybe my aftermarket switch situation had caused the problem, but it hasn't. So now I gotta find the start solenoid. Oh, there it is. It's right there, buried, of course. All right, we'll take this tank off. I don't like where this battery is and all that stuff. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get to. It's whatever. It's not that big of a deal, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. So, because the start solenoid is right there. There's no way to get to that without taking the tank off. So let's get the tank off, out of the way. Quick side note, guys. The service tank got me all the way through a 2-hour race. Really happy about that. Now I can check the battery connections. They all feel good. Got the solenoid off in my hand. So I have a feeling it could just be a fuse now. That would be cool if that's all it was. Main fuse, and I don't know. I don't think the main fuse has anything to do with anything else other than the starter, because everything else runs off the capacitor, or can run off the capacitor. So it does look like we got a blown fuse. That would be awesome. That fuse is definitely blown. It's only a 10 amp fuse, which I find to be a little bit on the light side, but let's see. Yes, okay. So that is awesome. I'm glad that worked. That makes it a super simple situation. Now the question is, why did it blow? What caused that fuse to pop? Because I'm not sure what all that fuse runs other than the starter. It's only a 10 amp fuse, so I'm gonna start by putting a 15 amp fuse in here because, I mean, most main fuses are 30 amps. Now that's what makes me think that this is probably just it's just a fuse for the starter. I'm gonna see if I can find a wiring diagram. We'll go deeper if I can. But why did that blow mid-race? I don't think, like I said, I don't think the fan ever came on, and the fan has its own fuse. The fuel pump has its own fuse. So I do not know what would have caused that. I never hit the starter during the race. I never had to. I had a clean race, no crashes, no nothing. Didn't stall anywhere, so not sure. Let's get some 15 amp fuses. We'll put a spare in there. Although, honestly, the spare for this thing is stupid because, like, you couldn't get to it without taking everything apart anyway. All right, 15 amp fuse. So now we got two 15 amp fuses. I mean, the one is just a spare, but hopefully that solves all of our problems. I'm trying to figure out what might have caused that. So let's go over things real fast. So my True North wiring harness has its own fuse. Fan has its own fuse. Fuel pump has its own fuse. It's basically just the start switch starter. So I don't know what would have caused it other than a wire touching something that shouldn't have, which honestly, it's kind of 10 pounds of you-know-what in a 5-pound bag. Oh, let's see. What's that? So I was just looking at the wire cable, really, that goes right there, that goes to, I guess, the starter. I think it's the starter. I don't know how it gets there, except for a long way. No. Yeah, it's a long route. It comes up and over and down. It's a positive wire for the starter, but if that thing had touched ground, I think all kinds of bad stuff would have happened. So, and I was a little concerned about it hitting the frame right here, but I feel the back side of that, that's no problem at all. I think I'm going to get some electrical tape, put it on there. This is that's the fuse for the fan. That's the fuse for the True North harness. So I don't know. I don't know what would have caused it. This is my grounds over here. Everything seems to be good. I'm gonna maybe try to bend some stuff out of the way, but everything seems to be good. Sometimes fuses just blow, but it seems like it wouldn't blow unless I was hitting the button. I don't know. It's a weird one. I'm definitely going to check the inside of the switch too. In fact, we'll do that here real fast. I don't think it's that though. I think the switch is fine. yeah, I don't think there's any issues there. So could just be that we got a fuse blow. It's a weird one. I will come back in here in a second if I find something behind that switch. I don't think I'm going to. So yeah, give me a second. All right, guys, got everything back together and works perfectly. Didn't find anything behind the switch. Nothing's wrong in there. I don't know what happened. Fuse blew, and that's all there is to it. Fuses blow. Obviously, it's usually for a reason. So I'm definitely going to keep digging. So subscribe to the channel, please, if you have not yet. And make sure you stick around, because if I can find anything, you guys will be the first to know. I am unafraid of telling the world what I think is wrong or right about things. Part of what we do here at Highland Cycles is be honest about stuff. So, yeah, if you send me a part to test, I buy a bike to test, whatever, I'm going to be brutally honest with it. Honestly, speaking of honesty, this thing really made me mad when that happened. I was not happy about, about that thing. So, yeah, I'm glad it turned out to be nothing. I'm glad it got through the race. I'm glad the gas situation worked out in the race. I did have one other issue during the race that it kind of bogged like it was running out of gas, and I don't know what that's all about. So we'll be testing that extensively before we go to Silver King's hard enduro, because I do not want something bad happening there. But yeah, other than that, the bike's been awesome. So anyway, thanks guys. Hope that was informative. Hopefully it helps some of you guys if you have the same problem. I love you. We'll see you on the next one.